Hello and welcome back to Old Man Wisdom. Again, we're looking on the EURUSD and we're looking at two versions here. One version over on the left is price action and the screen on your right is our non-repaint MT4 indicator strategy. So we're going to just quickly review both strategies and of course look at what we might expect for next week as well. So let's start with price action. Here we are. This little blue rectangle here represents where the week started. And last week we said about price coming down to this red line here. I explained why I'd drawn this red line. And for those who are regular viewers of this channel, you'll know why I've had this red line here for several months. We was favouring a buy opportunity, but we said we needed to see price come down and touch and stall before we bought the market. Obviously, if price had broken through and under this red line, we'd have been looking for the same possibilities of price stalling underneath the line and then selling. But not surprisingly, because this line or this area is such a powerful key area, price came down, and let's just zoom up a little bit. So the week started here, price came down and touched the line. Now it didn't stall that much, but if you had have bought at this area, you'd have had a very small stop loss before buying. If you missed this opportunity, which happened on the Monday, and you missed that opportunity, which was a potential 100 pips, price then came down to this area again, this time on the Tuesday, and it came down and did stall for quite a few hours here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours it stalled before, yes, dropping back down to the line, giving you another opportunity to buy. This time, what's beautiful about both of these opportunities were on the Wednesday is that now you know where to put your stop loss, which would have been below this wick here. So you would have had a stop loss of around just 30 pips. And again, price was stalling. You had some wicks. If you missed this opportunity, you had another one here. And now this time price was going up over 200 pips. Now, firstly, you had a 100 pip opportunity, then you had a 200 pip opportunity last week, all because of this simple line that I drew based on the monthly chart weeks and weeks ago. So what a lovely opportunity for price action traders in the last week. So now we can decide what we want to do for next week. So these areas here are quite important. We're going to pull it over and you see that this area here is something that we've been looking at for the last month. So we know that this area is a key area. So you can see these areas here that we're focusing on, but this area here is something that we've had marked up for quite a few weeks as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So almost 2 months this area has been marked up. And it's not surprising that we've seen price come back up into this area and fall away. So what we'd like to see for next week is a simple retest back up into this area now. And again, just like always, we want to see wicks. We want to see price pausing. You see how it's paused here? Well, we'd like to see a similar thing in the area or just underneath. So if price can stall around or in this area here, then we're looking for a sell. So we don't want to be selling blindly. We want to be waiting for this confirmation, if you like, of price action before we sell. So keep that in mind for next week. Obviously, if price does come up, we want the stop loss to be just above this previous high. So we want to be managing our risk. We don't want to be risking too much, but let's just wait and see. Price could yet go a lot higher, obviously, but we really ideally want to see price pausing in or around this zone and then selling for next week. So as for our non-repainting MT4 indicator, let's do the same here. We'll put the marker here. So this is where price has stopped on Friday. And you'll notice that for this week, we only had one signal, but we was last week looking for price to come up to this multi-time frame moving average. If we just zoom out a little bit. So we was looking for price to come up to this multi-time frame moving average. So eventually it did that, but what we was then hoping for is the sell signal all the while that price is below this moving average. We was only looking for a sell signal. So we got the buy signal, but then you notice that the MACD didn't then drop. The MACD carried on. I thought it was going to when it initially fell away here, but it carried on going up. So for next week, because price is now above the multi-time frame moving average, we want to see it come back down to the moving average here, and then we want to see a buy opportunity. So the only problem with that is that the MACD is quite a distance away. So we're not really even near the zero line yet. And it might be that price drops a little bit below the multi-time frame moving average before coming back up. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the principle behind this strategy is that we buy if price is above the moving average, and we sell if price is below the moving average. So as long as you keep that in mind, you're not going to be selling or buying at the wrong place. And of course, the other thing to bear in mind, just like a couple of weeks ago here, we had a sell signal and price was below the moving average, but I said in last week's video that there was no obvious place to put a reasonable stop loss. So we didn't take this trade, and of course it kept us out of a horrible drawdown. So they're the two main principles. My maximum stop loss is just 50 pips. So if there's not an obvious place to put the stop loss, then we don't take the trade. Patience is definitely part of being a Forex trader. So there you go. You have your price action strategy over here, and of course the non-repaint MT4 indicator strategy on this side here. So it's given you a couple of ideas for next week. By all means, comment below if you've got any thoughts on these strategies, on how to improve them, or what you feel might be good about what you've seen in this video. By all means, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed, then of course, please do. In the meantime, take care, have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.